Good morning, y'all. It's Mint Julep Smith here with the best technology news on the whole internet. I really want a mint julep all of a sudden. Well, today we have an action-packed show. I almost said a action-packed show. It's going to get going any minute now. I need a cigarette. New Loot Crate. Let's see what's in our Loot Crate box this month. It's like a light gray heather. What's on here? I can't even see. You tell me.
Diagram of the DeLorean.
Okay, that's snazzy. It's extra awesome in size. That'll fit you there, Corn Muffin. Hey, Sonic the Hedgehog. We got a Sonic the Hedgehog adult collectible. There you go. It's got a little stand and some rings, and I don't know. I think he goes over here. There. And we'll put the rings in here, and he's going to get the rings, you see? That's actually a pretty decent little thing. Red Dragon Die Keeper. It's a tiny little D20. All right, so you got your D20. You put it in there. Dude, this is a good month. Oh, it is a
battle map too.
Large size battle map creature. Mm-hmm. There you go.
So cool.
That's freaking cool. All right, how's the rest of the show gonna be? Yeah, pretty good, yeah. I'll take it. Oh, Simpsons keychain. Mm-hmm. I know who is getting that. I don't know what this is.
I do.
My God, that fish is smoking a cigarette.
That's the flying hellfish. Was the name of Grandpa Simpson's unit in World War II.
All right, and this is actually the last thing in there. It's really freaking cool. Galaga pen for your backpack, jacket, whatever you want to put it on. Loot Crate, thanks very much. You guys can check them out over at Loot Crate. This is the gaming box, but they've got one for just about anything you fancy. All right, Valve is not done with Steam machines. So on Steam, the whole Steam machines thing, it came off. They weren't selling very well. There's a whole section, with the hardware. Steam machines were just basically computers, gaming computers that had Steam OS, but most people wanted Windows, and the reason is very simple. Steam OS did not support all the titles on Steam, and also once you had that, you didn't have the ability to do much else. You install your games, play them. I guess you could mess around with Linux a little bit, but people just stay on Windows because there's so much more you can do. Well, they're saying they're not done. One of the big problems is that they're having trouble getting game developers to adopt Vulcan. Guys, if you're a game developer, use freaking Vulcan, please. We're going to be using ours. We already have ours working on Debian and Ubuntu. Actually, I believe we tested it most recently with Linux Mint, so our game is working already on those platforms, and Vulcan is amazing. Valve's going to actually be working on SteamOS, but also on some of the technology. They now have teams that are specifically working on Vulcan. They're working on a Vulcan caching system, which will make the games load faster and just make them smoother while you're playing. If they can, work on the APIs and, help out in that way, and then also help developers convert their DirectX games over to Vulcan and similar APIs, maybe we'll see better adoption across not just Linux, but also Mac OS, because Vulcan is happy over there. DirectX is really just for Windows and Xbox. I'm really hopeful that Vulcan takes off because of Valve. They've got the muscle. The muscle? What's my accent right now? I don't even know. Sound like some big mook. Yeah, this thing has not rolled under 10 yet. I rolled another nat 20. This thing is rigged. All right, so Impossible Foods. They've secured another $400 million in funding, and their flagship is really like this burger that they're working on, but they want to start working on meat replacements in a lot of different areas. The secret with those guys is the HEMA. The hemoglobin? Just heme. I guess just heme. Here's a really quick snip of us trying this burger so you guys can see what we think of it. If you guys want the full video, that'll be coming soon on possibly a new channel. Which one's the Impossible? Which one is the Impossible Burger? The Impossible Burger, you can see it's like the texture on the inside. Still very similar to the texture of ground beef.
Oh, yeah.
Or mince if you're in another part of the world. All right, Impossible Burger. That's a hamburger, man. It tastes like a hamburger. That's weird. Delicious. So stay tuned for that. Channel more about just like goofing off life, shenanigans, nonsense, improv, and gaming. If you're bipolar and you're having like some tendencies or feelings or whatever you have when you're going through an episode and you're using your phone, this piece of software is 90% accurate. It can tell by the direction you're holding your phone, the way you type, like a mental disorder, being able to just diagnose those by the way you use your phone could be an interesting new way. So the programmers or the algorithm is called Deep Mood, if you guys want to check it out. Install it on your friend's phone secretly and then monitor them like your Facebook. God damn it. Didn't even see it coming. Let's talk about what's really going on with Deep Mood, right? So they install a little piece of software on your phone, and they're working with Facebook. The whole Facebook... How dare you? All right, you guys know that Facebook, the leak has been way bigger than they originally claimed. It looks like all of their 2 billion subscribers have had some data leaked to some source. And there's another interesting thing that's going on. If you are on Facebook, remember they used to require, I think they still do require you to put in like your phone number and your email address and all that sort of thing. And if you go to Facebook and you search for a phone number, it will match up with the name and the Facebook account. So it was like these companies just wrote these little algorithms that would go on there and just throw tons of phone numbers at Facebook. And then Facebook would be like, oh, you're looking for that phone number? Well, that matches up to this person. So they were able to scrape and get all this detailed personal information just with, throwing random phone numbers at it. That's all happened. Now, Facebook has been sending doctors on secret missions to hospitals to get the hospitals to share patient data. And the whole idea is like, hey, listen, we're doing a research project. Whenever Facebook says research project, you got to stop and be like, okay, yeah, what are you researching? Researching how to ruin things. I guess random patient info, just like they're saying, you don't have to put a name on it. And we'll try to match that up with the users on Facebook based upon the stuff they type. And maybe we can look at the Facebook page and say okay, listen, we've matched up this with this, and it looks like this user has some tendencies or has some disabilities or has some, health problems that we can sync up with the doctors and then start making money from the medical industry as well. They're going to start watching how we hold our phones, the angle we hold our phones, the way we type, so that they can know all of that about us. And then they'll be able to create a mental profile on us and a medical profile on us, something that they don't have a huge, database of. But that's the next step. They've got all of our marketing information, they've got all of our lifestyle information, and if they can get our medical information, then they can make money from that direction. And then we'll see Facebook making money from the insurance companies behind the scenes. All they have to do is go over and be like, listen, you need to raise insurance on this guy because all this stuff on Facebook says that he is at a higher risk, and therefore you're going to give us 20% of the new fees that he's going to be having to pay, because all these things are getting a little bit too close to reality. Yeah. It's all just completely feasible. All right, I'm skipping the Google don't be evil thing. Google's working on a drone project for the government, and many of their employees right now are very upset about that because the drone can be used to hunt down and probably kill people. It's going to be used for warfare. Google's saying that it'll be used for, I don't know what, intelligence or something, but a lot of people in their company are citing the don't be evil motto. And then the guys in charge of Google are like, oh, that was supposed to be sarcasm. I mean, come on.
Have you seen a new Google napalm?
Google napalm. Don't be evil. It's tongue-in-cheek, guys. You get it? Let's just go see what Justin's playing. Let's lighten it up a little bit, shall we?
Gunman Taco Truck 2? What is this?
No, this is called Double Kick Heroes.
All right.
It's coming out later this week. And it's a zombie survival metal rhythm game.
So we got the rhythm down here?
Yep. Right now, it's
just nice and slow and easy right now?
Yeah, right now it's a pretty easy one.
Concentrate on that rhythm. Now, can you use any instruments? I mean, you're just using your Logitech right now, but...
Yes, this is you can use Rock Band instruments for it.
I'm gonna try my Roland TD30, but that's not gonna work, I don't think.
And I gotta tell you, I would probably be much happier with this game if I was using a Rock Band controller for it.
Dude, this looks way too much like Romero's...
Metal Steen 9000?
What if it's like Power Man 5000?
Let's find out. There's a storyline, you're a band that's been rehearsing underground for 6 months, so they had no idea that the zombie apocalypse happened, and you
come up. The downside of this game is that there's like a lot of stuff happening up on the screen, but I'm so focused on the track on the bottom that I'm not actually seeing all the stuff going on. This just added a new weapon into it. This added the grenade into it.
All right, so who should play this?
People that like rhythm games. Maybe if you're looking to find a reason to dust off your Rock Band equipment.
Cool.
Or something, I would recommend it, but if you like metal.
Yeah, I'm gonna go over here now.
Let's talk about Dungeons and Dragons now that we've got this D20 right here.
All right.
Put it over here because we'll both be tempted to make noise with it. All right, so there's an interesting editorial here by Beth Singler, and she says we should be using Dungeons and Dragons as a way to measure artificial intelligence rather than just using chess or Go or something like that. Because a lot of the artificial intelligence out there, they're like, we've created something that can learn, and we're letting it learn chess and Go because that's what smart people do.
They also mentioned that at the same time, too, in the, like, what does the average smart person do? And they said that a lot of the people that actually are the developers of this AI and all kinds of different AI, that when they ask, like, what they do for fun and things like that, a lot of them mention that they play Dungeons and Dragons. So, like, having an AI that could follow suit with that might not be like completely far-fetched. And what the article goes on to further state is like maybe the real test of AI would be to see how it can learn and operate in open-ended situations like a Dungeons and Dragons campaign versus chess, which is very like a closed atmosphere. Like there's only so many, I mean, there's a lot of different things you can do in chess, but there's only so many things you can do in chess. And there's no like, okay, well, I'm going to move my knight and then cast magic missile. And then what I'm going to do is open a portal. And then what I'm jump through that to get to the other side. Like there's, except for in battle chess, there's not really stuff like that anywhere. So
yeah, I'd like to see some artificial intelligence that is focused on abstract thought and creativity. Because right now, I bet if you sat down and played like some kind of an improv word game or something, a lot of these artificial intelligence algorithms would get extremely confused as to why you're likening a banana to a boomerang. But I'd say we're about 10 years off from an artificial intelligence. It just needs to get smarter and needs to get more dynamic. But imagine in 10 years if they actually do start going in this direction toward creativity. Imagine playing a video game where the other characters are not scripted. They're just given an alignment and a series of motivations, and then they're thrown on there. Maybe they're a companion or maybe they're not a companion. And then, the text is generated based upon artificial intelligence. Imagine how dynamic that would be to play in an actual video game.
how the holodeck is probably going to be the last thing that mankind ever invents.
And then we just spend all of our time in the holodeck.
Yeah, like after the holodeck, after someone can run Dungeons and Dragons for me with my friends without having to find a DM everywhere.
Yeah,
I'll be out of job, but that's fine. Robots taking my job. Damn it!
Like today, I'm going to be a 30s mobster. I got shot, and tomorrow I'm going to be Merry Men and Robin Hood's band of Merry Men.
Like once that happens, why are we even going to bother with the real world anymore?
All right,
seen this place? It's awful.
Speaking of living in another world, I've been watching Pistol play Shroud of the Avatar a little bit, and it's made by Lord British. A little anecdote, if you guys didn't know this, Lord British is not from the UK. He's not from London. He's not British. He's not from anywhere in that part of the world. He just went to school in Texas, and while he was at school in Texas, he was one of the only guys there without a Southern draw. And so everyone, when he was playing D&D, was like, "Are you British?" And so they started calling him Lord British.
You don't talk right. You British?
It's like, no, I just have a neutral accent.
Yeah.
Anyway, Shroud of the Avatar has given players enormous amounts of freedom when it comes to creating cities. They can write books in the game. They can create new items in the game. There are some rules around it, but a lot of people playing the game say that when they get to some places, they don't know if it's character generated. When they pick up a book and read it, they don't know if it's character generated. And pretty soon, they're going to be releasing some tools so that characters can create very dynamic plot points and stories. So that could be a very interesting way that a sandbox style MMO, I guess opens up and grows. So you got your theme park elements, like all your different quests and stuff. And then you got your sandbox where you can do this. But it's sort of a nice marriage of the two. And then allowing the users to generate stuff. I mean, if the game wasn't so clunky otherwise, like the combat's kind of lackluster.
Has anyone rewritten the Lusty Argonian Maid yet?
For this?
They'll have to.
Well, it can't be an Argonian anymore. They'll change it to something that's appropriate for this universe.
But I'm just saying that was like the best book written in Skyrim.
Yeah, we need. Yeah, I'm sure that's going to happen. But I want to know what you guys think of the game and what you guys think of some of these things. I think a lot of people are just going to end up playing it just to join into the guilds and the player-made cities and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a hard time getting past the combat. It's clunky and just you click on stuff and, it's... You stand there and watch them hit each other. It's boring combat,
Not
in my
dynamic.
opinion. I don't like that kind of combat, but the game's pretty cool. We got to mention this month.
On this week's mention of games that won't have microtransactions, so we need to be proud of them, the Spider-Man game coming out for PlayStation 4 will not have any microtransactions on it.
But...
Oh, wait, we got to clap first.
Oh, clap.
Yeah.
I'm just giving him two. I'm just giving him two claps. But it's locked at 30 FPS.
Yeah, it's going to be locked at 30 FPS, which is like, okay.
Wait,
So I'm
waiting for PC.
I was excited about this. Now I'm a little less excited with the 30 FPS lock and everything because I'm worried that will make it feel like stuttery and like the last thing you want to be when you're Spider-Man is like feel like your movement is not smooth.
you said
know what I
stuttery
mean?
when I think you meant to say cinematic.
I guess.
I'm going to wait for this to come out on PC.
Cinematic.
Yeah.
It'll just be way too cinematic for me.
Last thing to talk about here. Bluehole and the Public Corporation have finally decided to sue an app maker who's made a couple copycat apps. Now, the name of the app maker here is, where is it?
NetEase.
Yeah, NetEase.
NetEase. Netease.
Now, they made two games, not just one, Rules of Survival and Knives Out, that are extremely similar to each other, and I don't know why they made two. Because it felt like if they got one of them taken down, they'd have the other one. But
Yeah.
So
the people at PUBG have now posted all these pictures and stuff about, but they're taking these people to court. They're finally like, we've had enough. This is flagrant copying of what we're doing. So,
Knives Out. Here's the thing for me. It's going to be hard for them to win in court because a lot of the stuff that's in these games is based upon real world stuff. They're using real world weapons. They haven't created like a BFG or a plasma rifle or anything like that. These are like Car 98s and M4s and stuff like that. They're real world items. I mean, a parachute, it looks like that. That's what a parachute looks like. So it's like, hey, they ripped off our parachute. Well, that's kind of what parachutes look like. They ripped off our airplane. Well, that's kind of what airplanes look like. Now, the interface and everything else and just the blatant copying of the everything else in the game, maybe they can win on that. But I don't know if it's going to be that easy to get the judges to understand that.
Yeah.
They're obviously riding on the coattails of the success of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
I don't know. It's just like, I mean...
Aqueducts look like this in real life.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of.
And it's not like they broke the mold by coming up with a Battle Royale game or anything like that. So it's not like they can really call them on that. I mean, they've made a very successful Battle Royale game, but they weren't exactly the first to do it. You know what I mean? Like,
and the warehouses really are really copying.
Maybe they just hired the same contractor for the warehouse. That happens.
I mean, even the fonts on the map look the same. It's like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Like just
Squirrel Depot.
Squirrel Depot. Come on down to Squirrel Depot.
Yep. Down here in the Squirrel Depot. That's down in the Squirrel District. You gotta go down there if you want to get them squirrels.
Right next to Tri-Citia Area Street.
Yep.
All right, Rust Bay.
And Safe Shore. Boy, that sounds like a misnomer.
They need. I think they need to lend some of these names to Bluehole because these names are just better.
I'd rather go to the Squirrel Depot than like Pochinki City.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That these guys need to be naming the stuff. I would definitely land in Squirrel Depot every time.
Yep, every time.
Yeah, real players drop in Squirrel Depot.
Yep. All my fighting is done in Squirrel Depot, just exclusively. I don't care if the blue ring of death is closing in.
No,
I'll die in Squirrel Depot.
Or you'll kill everyone else before they can get to the blue.
Yep.
All right, that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for being awesome. Thanks for heading over to epicpants.com. I almost wore that today. It would have been weird.
Yes.
I wore another oldie but goodie. I'll bring Doug over here while I'm talking about the keyboard. Guys, thanks a lot for checking out the keyboard. We've sold a lot of these. There have been a couple people who have bought these with priority shipping to Europe. And I noticed that our priority shipping to Europe prices, for some reason in the system, were way too high. So I will be refunding you on PayPal or whatever, a little bit of the difference from the shipping for that, guys. So just know, I'll do that for you.
Can we take a moment to appreciate how big this guy's gotten?
Dude.
You can't even, he's not even all in the shot. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's Doug.
Yep.
That's Doug's t-shirt over there.
It's got Doug and digging on it.
Buy it or you're dumb.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll show him.
Told them people. All right, see you guys.